Hello team owners, this is week 8 previews. Look, I'm going to do a preview for the fan page, separate, kind of like Kyle did. I'm going to do a separate one for the fan page. I'm doing this one for you guys because I have some information to share with you. And I've tried to do this video a couple times. It didn't turn out right because I'm going to change to my handwritten form. Look, let's start out with some things that are going on in the league, and I'm going to try to turn on myself here and do this one more time. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to try to talk real quick about videos and stuff. So Kyle and I are talking about he's doing some things with the USFL project and with a larger group of people, a sports network. I think some of you have joined that. It's a lot of fun there, a lot of comedy, a lot of talks about every football league and different stuff, input on everything. And we have a chance to kind of get in there on the ground level at some point. And with that said, I realize some team members, some team owners are not going to want to do that necessarily. They got into football, this fantasy league, just to play, and some will like it. So we've got something for everyone. We want everyone to stay. We're talking about giving a discount on dues for those that do participate and do videos, and maybe raising the dues. And the increase in the dues, if you did not do videos, would just go to charity. We would still have $10 to go to our pot for a small winnings. But the additional dues that one that chose to not do videos ever, which would only probably be $10 more, we're looking at probably 20 instead of 10. All this is still talk. We're going to vote on this. We're going to talk some more about it. There's not going to be any sudden changes. But look, Halloween's here. Go get you a costume. Get you one of those things that you have a handle on it and it's got a face of the president or a movie star or a head coach, or, there's things you can do to come up with props and things. You can go buy you a couple things. It's a good time during Halloween. Some of it you can probably buy at just a fun store. If you live in a larger city or something, you might be able to find that. There's all kinds of props that can be used. El Briscoe's got his room developed. I've got a room developed. Kyle seems to like his backyard or his couch, which is good too, guys. It's really, folks have done them from their office where they work, and sometimes the background's not that great. It doesn't matter. I mean, think about the NFL channel, Good Morning Football. Those guys, sometimes do stuff that's really funny and pretty cool skits, and sometimes it's silly as crap and it's even stupid. They're doing this in front of millions of people, guys. Look, if you're shy, you haven't done one, be bold. Put together an introduction to yourself, the moment that you first knew that USFL came about. Your dad took you to a game. You turned the TV on late at night and watched the game while your parents were asleep and told you to go to bed. Mark Niemi had a great story about the Panthers when he first fell in love with them and watched the championship game the first year. Putting that nuance in there is all good. I think doing an intro and maybe just sending it out. You can do videos all day long, but if no one else looks at them and at least gives you an honest critique, you're not real sure how good it is or how to make it better. So I, as your commissioner, would love to just take and see what you've got and give you some suggestions, and just kind of go from there. Not that I'm a pro, but we want folks to step up and do them. And you will have fun if you do them and you get comfortable behind the camera. I realize it's not for everyone. Thanks for everyone who is doing them. 16 team leaguers. I've got folks coming out of the woodwork that's going to be great for the 16-team league. Those guys are ready to step up into the 20-team league if there's ever an opening. That's what all of our multiple leagues are about. So without further ado, previews for week 8. I hope this turns out good. I'm going to turn this back around and focus down. Here we go. First off, the Spirit of Miami plays the Jacksonville Bulls this week. This is a game of the week. They're both 5-2. Bulls atop the Southern Division. Spirit of Miami atop the Atlantic Division. And, in this game, it's really going to come down to the Bulls quarterback Brissett and also Russell Wilson. I really think that the game is going to come down to that in the end. Whoever performs the best there leading their team. So Spirit of Miami is 5-2 currently right now, and will be playing the Bulls in the game of the week. Next in the Atlantic Division, you have the New Jersey Generals 4-3. Michael Angelotti Stars at 3-4. Man, this game's really important, especially if the Bulls beat Miami. This is a really important game for second place. Who's going to be in second? Who's going to be in third? Jose's Generals or Michael Angelotti Stars. And then you got the Federals sitting there at 3-1 with a tie during the year. I probably will talk a little bit more about ties and the screw up there. Some of you understand it, some of you don't. But the bottom line is a tie is a tie. Whether ESPN goes in there and tries to correct the score, I can't help that. If the game finishes with a tie, it's going to be a tie. I did talk to ESPN and told them my email address, and they went ahead and changed some scores after week 3. After I told them I wanted them to stay ties, they went in and tried to fix them, and that really screwed things up. So that's kind of what happened. But Feds, 3-1, played the Maulers. John Hollis, a little bit down on his luck. But look, there's only a 5-point difference here, I believe. Kamar's less than 50% probably. Breeze is still out. Westbrook's eating away at Chark's reception. So, Maulers could get back in this thing going forward there. In the Southern Division, we talked about the Bulls playing Miami in that important game to be atop their divisions. Next, you got the Stallions in Tampa. The Bandits are loaded. Terry Harness has a loaded freaking team. John Bassett and Terry Harnet's team. And Stallions at 5-2. Henry Rido's having a breakout year. But he does not look good in this game. He's got the bye bug going on. Anything can happen. If Tampa wins that game, the Bulls lose. You've got it tightening up. And then you have Orlando and Memphis. Memphis, former champs, at 2-5. James Hayes in a little trouble. He's got some trouble this week because Johnson and other players on his team are injured. They're not 100%. So he's really behind the 8 ball. He can still pull this game out. This is a close game. Orlando rebuilding. Michael Rodriguez with Minshew and Gore with his veterans Gore and Kelsey and Minshew and Aaron Jones. He's got youth. He's got older guys. He is truly rebuilding. He's doing a great job. 3-4 versus Memphis 2-5. Orlando could get back in the mix with a win and really put a hurting on the Showboats. Moving on to the Gunslingers and the Panthers. Gunslingers are not favored in this game. Despite Patrick Mahomes not being there, Panthers look like they're going to win this game on paper. But I tell you, Jake has pulled some surprises this year, even with some of his players hurt. He can really rock, and Jake loves to do stuff like that. He can really rock the Central with a win over the Panthers. You got the Express playing the Outlaws. Kyle has never won a division title. I know he doesn't like me to announce that and remind folks, but here he is behind the Panthers again, playing the Express, a game he should win, but it's a less than 1 point game. Wow, I mean, just look at the Express's team and imagine if today it was the USFL, not the NFL. I just love the Express's matchups this week against the Outlaws, but I think Kyle's going to be able to pull this one off just based on the history this year in the league. But El Briscoe might work his magic out there. That's a great game to watch, the Express and Outlaws. And then you've got the Gamblers playing the Blitz. Blitz are having some problems here. Do they play Flacco? Do they play Baker Mayfield? They've got Elliott on bye. Chicago could find themselves deep in the cellar this week. Houston climbing out maybe. I will give this game to Houston. Christine has had some very successful wins in the past, and she's not gonna give in that easily. That'll be another great game to watch in the Central Division. And then out in the Pacific, you got Portland and Denver. Michael Rutt's most improved team out there at Denver at 4-3, playing Portland. Portland is favored in this game, so we'll see what happens. Man, Denver could really rock the boat here. Then you got Oakland, who I feel is one of the best teams power ranking-wise. Randy Miner's team sitting at 4-3, quite a surprise. Playing Arizona Wranglers, Kevin Perillou's team that has topped that division every year at 3-1. This is going to be a game to watch as well. Arizona can prove that they deserve to be right back up there with a win to go 4-3-1. Oakland, maybe not so good if they lose to Arizona. Denver, most improved. Wow, this is a great division to watch too. And you got Express sitting down there, Sneaky Express, with this 1-point game to the Outlaws this week. So, guys, have a great week. Enjoy the football. Think about doing a video if you hadn't, and go USFL.